Hello everyone out there, how are you all doing? I'm Kate Hill, bringing you the best unbiased and honest content on property, along with really awesome hints and tips. Stay tuned today for all your latest property news. The housing crisis in Australia is being exacerbated by a surge in infrastructure construction, according to warnings from the RBA. Government-funded road and rail projects are competing for both skilled labour and construction materials, leading to increased costs in the residential construction market. The RBA's quarterly statement on monetary policy highlights the impact of infrastructure projects on labour and building material availability, contributing to inflation and causing a shortage of rental properties. The RBA's caution coincided with an upgrade in near-term inflation predictions, prompting the most recent cash rate increase. The $120 billion Commonwealth infrastructure pipeline is causing challenges for the government, conflicting with efforts to cool the economy and diverting resources from the residential construction sector. Labour shortages and rising material costs have led to a review of over 700 projects, with costs ballooning to $32 billion. Local developers are expressing concern about the capacity of the residential construction sector to meet demand, especially in regions with large-scale projects, attracting tradespeople with higher pay rates. The escalating construction costs have made some higher density projects financially unfeasible. The Housing Industry Association predicts a decrease in building activity, posing a threat to the government's goal of building 1.2 million new homes by 2029. The shortage of skilled tradespeople is identified as a major problem, with workers drawn to lucrative government-backed infrastructure projects. The RBA predicts that the weakness in dwelling investment will contribute to a tight rental market, compounded by population growth. Now, while some road and rail projects are expected to conclude by the end of the next year, the RBA anticipates that upcoming projects related to the renewable energy transition will maintain pressure on the construction sector. Economists suggest that pulling back on infrastructure spending could alleviate pressure on labour and materials, but the pipeline for large projects indicates ongoing challenges. Approximately one-third of the federal government's $80 billion commitment to roads and rail over the next decade is set to be spent by mid-2025. Apartment rents are tipped to soar in Australia, with new analysis showing the 5 Australian markets poised for huge increases. CBRE's apartment rent and vacancy outlook suggests the most significant rental growth will be in Sydney's eastern suburbs, Parramatta, Melbourne North, Perth City, and virtually all precincts in Brisbane. It says that median rents for 2-bedroom apartments in these precincts will surge by $120 a week between 2023 and 2028. At the start of 2013, just 4 precincts in Australia had an average rent of $600 per week for 2-bedroom apartments, those being the Sydney and Perth CBDs, Sydney's eastern suburbs, and Sydney's lower North Shore. CBRE says that by June, this had grown to 20 precincts, and by 2028, we expect 38 precincts, or 70% of Australia's 2-bedroom apartments, to have rents exceeding $600 a week. The report says that 75,000 new apartments are needed each year to keep up with population growth and demand for smaller dwellings. The number of new house approvals is at its lowest level in a decade, according to Australian Bureau of Statistic figures. The HIA senior economists say that the number of new houses approved in September fell by 4%. Building approvals continue to be weighed down by the fastest increase in interest rates in a generation, they said. They further believe the declines are to be expected as the full impact of another rate rise is felt by households. This slowdown in the volume of approvals will make it increasingly difficult to reach the Australian government's target of building 1.2 million homes in 5 years. The master builders of Australia say that a blowout in construction delays means that the time it takes to build a new home is now nearly 12 months. The state with the most significant delays is Western Australia, where it takes an average of 16.5 months to build a new home. Australia's housing crisis is, as I'm reporting the whole day today, is nowhere near its peak, according to RMIT, which predicts it will continue well into 2025. The lack of supply will not be resolved in the short term, which means that the housing crisis will continue to affect all Australians. RMIT say that the market is doing something it has not done since the 2008 global financial crisis, and that is prices will continue to grow despite high costs of living and high mortgage repayments. With predictions Australian house prices will hit a new record high in the final quarter of 23, it will become more expensive for home buyers. This will present a difficult conundrum for home buyers and especially prospective first home buyers. They predict that Australia will be short 106,000 new homes over the next 5 years. As a result, house prices will continue to go from strength to strength. Now, I will keep you posted on all things property from around Australia as our year progresses. As always, it's nearly over. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button if you are enjoying the content. I will see you all again really soon. Bye.